It's Friday, thankfully. I need this Friday. I do. My next guest is always keeping a close eye on business in Michigan. It's what they do at the Michigan Chamber. It's the most powerful voice for business in the state. The Michigan Chamber Business Brief, including Jim Holcomb, the Chamber President. Jim, good to have you back on the program.
Good morning, Steve. Good
morning. So we're kind of in the middle of the year here. Can't believe it. June is tomorrow, so we're a full 5 months gone of 2024. The good, the bad, the ugly. Where are we in what's happening? The big picture. Obviously, we're in an election cycle. You want candidates that are more business friendly, not less. But just give me your take on where we've gone so far in 24.
Well, I think where we've gone, as you said, the year's going quickly. Where we're going isn't going quickly enough. As you said, it is an election year, and so people are going to have the opportunity to get out there and make their voice heard, and that's what we hope a lot of people do, is get engaged. If you don't like what's going on, you need to raise your voice. But we need more business-friendly policies here in Michigan. We need an economic climate that is attractive to job providers and allows employees to keep more of their own money. We need Michigan to be more economically vibrant and strong.
As I've heard you say in the past, Jim, there needs to be an urgency when it comes to looking out for business in Michigan. And I don't think we have that necessarily with everybody in Lansing right now, but there needs to be an urgency. And there needs to be an urgency involving the companies, the employees, and the business environment in general. We don't need more regulations. We don't need more hurdles. We need to get back to the work of doing the work. I mean, we're still recovering from COVID, and we need to have some urgency about this, don't we?
Absolutely, we do. People are standing by, and they're either kind of hesitant to get involved or waiting for somebody else to do it. And we all need to be doing the hard work ourselves right now. We need policies that are going to be attractive. We need lower taxes. We need a regulatory structure that is favorable to job creators. And we need to be champions of free enterprise. That's what's going to drive our economy. If you have good businesses, you're going to have strong communities. And with a strong community, you'll have a much stronger state. And we believe it's possible, but we need to put away and put aside some of the partisan bickering and actually focus on what's going to make a real difference.
Well, you make a good point there. Relationships are critical. And that doesn't mean we have to all agree on everything. Well, that's not going to happen, whether it's tax policy or regulations or whatever. But we have to be, mindful that if you do things that are over the top, it will hurt Michigan businesses. Now, one thing, and I don't know what the Chamber's position on this is, but this paid time off legislation is working its way through the legislature, my understanding, and I got a bit of information from Mitchell polling that the majority of Michigan people support this, and they support the idea that the companies should pay the bill. I'm sorry, but these companies can't afford to pay the bill when it comes to paid time off, especially small companies. Can they, Jim?
No, they can't. It's a HR nightmare. It's also fiscally just not only irresponsible, but unrealistic, and that's what we need is realistic. You have great job providers all across the state working with their employees, and they're providing the benefits they have available to them that they can economically afford. The kind of the race for talent is first and foremost among job providers across the state, trying to attract and retain talent. They are providing every benefit possible that they can to get the talent. What we don't need is government to come in with a heavy-handed approach with an unworkable system that is going to drive more business out of the state, and that's exactly what these proposals will do.
Yeah, the government would come in and say, here's how you're going to use your checkbook. Here's what you're going to spend your money on. And what would happen if this goes through is people won't get hired. People that do have jobs won't get raises because paid time off, the way it's been presented and what I have seen, wildly expensive because they can take 6-minute increments. Weird. Oh, I'm just going to leave for 6 or 8 or 10. Really? 6-minute increments makes no sense. I mean, look, I get maternity leave. I get going home to take care of an elderly parent or a sick child. I get all that. Okay, there's be some accommodation for that. But this is so open-ended and sending the bill to the company you work for. Look, it's going to, people will lose jobs. I mean, we've seen what happened in California with the minimum wage, right? That's the other part of this conversation, minimum wage. How many restaurants have closed in California in the last 6 months? How many? I mean, it's a huge number, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have not only closures, but what you're going to have the businesses that do try to stay afloat. You're going to have chronic understaffing because they won't be able to afford it. So you're going to have workers who don't get the hours they need. You're going to make it more expensive for the business. You're going to have less people to satisfy the customer. You're really damaging the whole enterprise from top to bottom. And the proposals that we've seen out there would absolutely grow government. We've seen similar proposals in Minnesota, which is half the size of the state of Michigan. They added a state government employees, 475 total new employee headcounts. And it's billions of dollars taken out of the economy. And again, government is not real good at running businesses.
Isn't it remarkable? The government continues to grow. And I'll just use this as an easy example. A secretary or clerical position in government pays far more than it does in the private sector. It's amazing how government can drive first-class vehicles, pay top-notch money for jobs that the private sector can't afford, and then keep adding those jobs as they send the bill to the private sector. This doesn't help us grow, does it?
No, it's because they're using somebody else's money. A business,
right.
An entrepreneur, a job provider has to worry about the revenue they have coming in, and it's like a kitchen table. You can only spend the money you have coming in. For government, they just go out and grab more of your money. And I want to be clear, too, across the state, we have great job providers that are providing wonderful benefits, and they're doing it by working with their employees to say, what matters to you? Here's how we can strengthen our business. Here's how we can work together. And in many communities across the state is working very well, and you have great relationships with employers and employees working together. Government coming in is usually a problem and very rarely the solution.
Yeah. So we have to find ways, and you mentioned something here a moment ago I want to circle, and that is attracting talent. We can't continue to attract talent if we continue to saddle business with regulation and higher taxes and infrastructure issues. There are things that we need to do in Michigan to attract not just talent, but attract business here, right? We need to be able we need to compete with Tennessee and Florida and Texas and bring business here, don't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have great employees in the state. We have good universities. We have the talent here. We need to make sure we're retaining it. Michigan has been losing population for far too long, and we need to make the state more attractive. This is, in my opinion, could be the best state to live, work, start a business, raise your family. Michigan is a wonderful place. Our members are optimistic about the future. We just need to be a little more realistic and be a little more honest about the policies we're enacting. And let's worry about good policy and not a press release.
I agree with that. Jim Holcomb, CEO of the Michigan Chamber, the most powerful voice for business in Michigan. And look, guys, I've been a member of the Chamber for years and years. Ivy and I both, we still are. And we find resources there you can't find anywhere else. Jim, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Steve. Have a great day.
You too. michamber.com if you want to know more. michamber.com. Thousands of Michigan businesses are members, and there is strength in numbers. Your voice in Lansing, your ability to find solutions to problems you maybe have not faced, but others have, and they'll have experience. michamber.com to find out more. michamber.com.